Hi Ralph.
Hello.
First of all, 2 wins and a draw from the last 3. Are you starting to feel you've really turned a corner here?
Yeah, the results were very important for us. That's right, and I think it's still a long way to go. As you saw the results yesterday in the Premier League, it's important that you take points consistently, and we have the next chance now on Sunday against Newcastle. And it's good that we have built up a little self-confidence, and with this self-confidence we go there and try to take something.
You'll go there with confidence. Newcastle themselves, you would imagine, would have a lot of confidence after their last couple of results, Manchester City and beating Sheffield United away. What are you expecting from them on Sunday?
Yeah, it will be interesting how many players will be rotated and what team in the end, and that's on the pitch. I think they have a few problems also with slight injuries. We had also a few issues after the last game. It was very intense, so the third game in a week, we must have a look what is the starting 11. I expect a game with a very good organized opponent. They don't have a lot of possession, but I think they defend very well, and even then, if they have the counter-attacks, they are very strong, have good quality in front, and not easy to play team against. So I think for us would be a little bit different, like in the last game. In the last game we had an opponent who was building up from behind, gave us a lot of chances. I think we had the highest ball wins in the last game from our entire season, I think, and this would be a different game. I think they play quicker long and different tactical options. We prepare for other things and must find a good game plan to take something there.
You mentioned before that the confidence around the place that you get from the results that you've had in the last few matches. When you think back to the Leicester game, could you just give us an idea of the difference in the mood around the club between then and now off the back of these good results?
It's really fantastic and nice. This Leicester game is always coming, so it's we know this that this result was always following us this season. But I spoke about finding back our trigger and our identity, and I think this was the most important thing in the last 3 games. We could have won against Arsenal in the last 2 games. We have won, and it was a completely different performance from everybody. The team was playing much more committed, and the way we act was a very intense one, and this is our identity. I think we must hold this high always, and when we play like this, then we create chances. We don't give the opponent so much chances. We are defending higher and then keep the opponent far away from our goal, and this is more our style we want to play. But as I said, because of all the results, we step deeper and deeper and deeper, and because of losing games, and now we try to push the reset button in the international break and come back to what we really can do better. And it looks that the results show us that this is the right way.
And you've got the wins you've had in the last couple against Watford and Norwich, and after you play Newcastle, you've got Villa and you've got West Ham. Again, teams that are around where you are in the table. Is that going to be key, picking up points from those matches against those teams that are around you?
Yeah, the good thing is that we have all the big players. We have played against them in the beginning, especially at home. It was a really difficult schedule, and we knew that in December there will come the time where we can pick up points. But even against these teams, it's not there are no guarantees that you take something. But I think the chance is there, and it's good that we found back to a good performance, because this is what you need against every opponent. And without a good performance, you have no chance to take anything. So we have now a squad, first 11. We played twice now, nearly the same, and I think this gives the players a good feeling, good self-confidence, and this is more important, as I said, that than who now plays against us. What is the next opponent? We know every Premier League game is tough for us, but we have in every Premier League game, if we play like this, we have a chance.
It's, I think yesterday was exactly a year since you took over. How do you assess that year? Has it been tougher than you expected in the Premier League, and have there been times when you thought you might not even make it to the year in the Premier League?
No, I think it was not tougher than I expected, because I knew that the Premier League is a big challenge, especially for a club like we are, and it was clear for me from the first moment that it will be a difficult time. I knew what I do when I was coming here. I knew that it was we have our limits, and we try to push these limits as high as possible. And not every period of the season. Last season was we were competitive, and this season was the same. We have always periods where we are really struggling, and to minimize these periods, I think this must be the goal for the future. And then I think last season we had a good impact when I was coming here. We took a lot of good wins at home, and in the end we stayed in the league. And this season it's not easier. The Premier League is getting better and better again, and the other clubs have big opportunities, and we must follow them, and we must go our own way. And I think we do it with a special way. And I think everybody knows that this philosophy from this club is a not easy one. We must work hard. We are a hard-working club, and we must push our limits, and we must develop our young players that we have, and in the end stay in the league. This is the first goal we have.
You know it's going to be tough, and it has been tough for a year. Are you able to enjoy it?
Yes, every day. Speaking to you, speaking to the media, speaking to my players, working on the pitch, helping develop the players, thinking about sessions, and showing them what we made well, what not. I think this is a fantastic job, and I enjoy every day working here. And as I said, I was managing in the Champions League, and sure, it's a big stance where you play, but in the end, I must say, it doesn't make less fun to work here, or to maybe we have won a little bit more games than we won here, but in the end, I must say that I enjoy this job very, very much here, and I'm very thankful that I'm managing the Premier League.
Can I ask you about Boufal's toe? Is it any better? I know it was getting worse than last time.
You can ask, and I must tell you that it's still a problem with him. So he's still not training, and in the last game he was on the bench, and there was no reason to bring him in, and that's the reason why I decided to let him out and to give him the rest, that he doesn't have to play. And tomorrow he will train the first time, I think, and then we must look how it is. But we must pay attention, because such an injury can take longer if you are not careful. And I think we must be really careful.
Thank you.
Okay. Move on to the second section for 10:30 this evening. Dan, just starts off.
Thank you, Jordan. Is there any other team news, injury concerns going into Newcastle?
Yeah, as I said, we have a few issues with this high workload the players did, a lot of sprinting. But I think for the weekend, from these players, they're all able to play, I think. It's on me to decide if I go again with a team that was investing 2 times very much, or if I put in a few fresh players in. I think the subs in the last games did always a very good job, so that you see that we get better when we were changing players. And I think in the end, it's on me to decide who is really an option for me. And also good that Stewie is back on the pitch. It's just running, but it looks good. Maybe he's an option for West Ham, not this week, but maybe next week he can be maybe an option again.
Are the games in quick succession something you prefer as a manager, because the players get into a rhythm of playing aggressive?
Oh, we have the chance to take 9 points in 1 week. So this is, I think, the same like in 9 weeks before. So you can see how quick in the football things can change. And we have. I like it normally, yes, because if you are in a rhythm and believe and the results are okay, then it's a good chance to get in the next game and to take the next points. And so both is okay. If you are in a good mood, then it's good if you play. If you want to train and work on things, then it's not so easily. But I think it's okay.
How difficult is it managing the recovery but also preparing for a game? Because you only played on Wednesday night, so how would you find the balance in that?
Yeah, I think the first difference is that you make the debrief in a way of preparing them what we need in the next game, because it doesn't make sense when I show him today what everything was perfect against Norwich, because they play a completely different style. So I try to reduce the information, so the debrief from the last game from what we really need for the next game, and I think this helps more. So it was a little bit different debrief today. And tomorrow you have one session one meeting for the opponent, and then you have one session after where you can maybe try a little bit what you make different, and then go in the game on Sunday.
Can it be an advantage that you've had an extra day's rest compared to Newcastle as well?
We know it after the game. If it was, we had not the feeling that on Wednesday we had 1 day more off than Norwich, because in the end they put more on the pitch like we did. Maybe in the beginning we were a little bit fresher and a little bit more aggressive, but in the end it's in the Premier League every team is very fit and they can all push 90 minutes. So I think that that's not a big advantage for us.
And just finally from me, momentum is obviously a massive thing in football. So how important is it that you guys can carry on the performances you've been putting in over the last 3 games?
Yeah, we were always speaking about our problems at home. That in the away games we took points consistently, also against good opponents, and we like to go away, and we know that we had last season a difficult game there, and it's not easy to get something there, but we need a very, very good performance, and we can show this performance, and this is the belief what we have, and to go there and showing a really good game. This is our goal with our supporters together, show them that we invest everything to take something.
It's a strange statistic that your last 12 goals have all been scored by English players, which is unusual in the Premier League. Were you aware of that? The players aware of that fact?
No, but I think especially Ings and Prowse have shown up that they really are very, very, in the moment clinical in front of the goal, and Ryan is not so often on the score list, but I think it's a logical result of his more investment he did the last 3 games. It was from his stats, from his running stats, a different player than before his suspension. So it was a good comeback from him, and I'm happy for him, because he should come more often in this position to score, and when he has a chance, he has the quality to do it.
You've got a lot of English players in the starting lineup. How important is that English core to your plan moving forward?
If you haven't told me now, I wouldn't even know it that I have so many English players in my first 11, because I've never cared about English or something else. So I try to find the best 11, what fits the best in the moment to what we need, and then I think it's important that we have a core on the pitch now that knows what it's about, that is really hardworking for each other. As you know, is our system and our shape is, or our philosophy is very much based on working together in the net, and if they understand each other very well and are working together, then they can be 11 English player or 11, I don't know what, but the most important thing is that they work together.
One of those English players, though, doesn't matter about his nationality, but Danny Ings is on double figures now for goals this season. How important has he been, and how important will he be moving forward?
Yeah, I was a little bit afraid because he had a bit of problems with his hamstring after the game, and a little bit cramped. And as you know, his history, it's always dangerous for him. He had a fantastic season so far because he's fit. He's really working very, very much on the pitch, and this is a logical result that he gets chances, he scores, he's always there. I think he found his rhythm now, and he's in a flow in a moment, and every time he's in the box he's dangerous, and even outside the box he's working fantastic for the team. He's also pushing the others with his mentality and with his running. If you see someone beside you sprinting like him, you started doing it also, because it's something that influences you, and this is exactly the Danny Ings we all want to see.
Could he make the difference in the end? Because there's a lot of teams down there who don't have that natural goal scorer. I mean, Newcastle for one, I think only Sam Maximan from their strikers has scored so far this season.
Yeah, but it's not. I was the whole time of my managing career not really focused on having one big striker or one big goal scorer, because I think if the one scorer has a problem, then you have a problem. So it's better to have more players who can score. And the last game we had a new one with Ryan. Can be more. We have a few more players on the pitch that can score also, and then you are not so easy to play against if you have more guys that can score.
I spoke to Jan Bednarek after the game, and he was praising Shane Long for the dirty work that he did. Do you understand what he means?
Mm-hmm. I understand what he means, yeah. And he's right, because Shane made, I think, a high speed running in this game, and yeah, this is a player. This is really not easy to defend, because when you always go deep and force and hunt over every ball, and yeah, has also a good header, like he showed before the second goal, that he was unbelievable high in the air, and he has a fantastic mentality. He was really working hard as long as he could, and this was the best Shane Long for me. What can I expect?
He goes a bit under the radar and is maybe a bit underappreciated because as a striker he doesn't score many goals.
Oh, last season he scored a lot. I think he had the quickest of all Premier League time, so we never forget this goal. And he scored a few very more important ones for us. And I think he showed that he can score, and he scores in the sessions, and he's also in the games. Maybe not the most clinical one in front of the goal, maybe also because he's working a lot, and then he gets in a moment the chance where he's not 100% fresh, or that he's really struggling a little bit with his power, his energy in that moment. But when you do so much for the team, it's more important than scoring sometimes.
What does it say about his professionalism that he can come in and play like he did in the week? Because there were times this season when he wasn't even in the match day squad, but he just kept his head down and worked.
Yeah, he's, I think, a perfect example of how quick things can change, and how quick it can happen that you're back in the first 11, and then you have to grab the chance with both hands. And this is what I always tell my players when they are not in the squad or not in the first 16 or 18. That the moment will come immediately, and then you have to be there, and then you have to grab your chance with both hands. And he's always working hard in the sessions, always positive and following the team, and from his mentality, from his character, he's a fantastic professional.
Thank you.
How impressed were you with your captain? Pierre's stats were fantastic against Norwich.
Yes, spoke after the game with him, and said that it was by far the best performance this season from him also. Enjoyed the hard work in the centre, I think. We have with him and Prowsey two very dynamic players with covering a lot of distance, and he was a crucial part of our game, because the ball wins there are very important for us, and even then, if he wins the ball, he made good decisions of not staying too much in possession, playing deep, trying to speed up the game, and this was much better than in the games before, and was an important step forward also for him.
It's important to have your captain leading from the front in that manner.
Yes, I think the role of a captain is sometimes discussed as a player who has to speak to the other guys in the dressing room or outside on the pitch, and I'm not a friend of this behavior, because the best thing you can do as a captain is to show on the pitch that you step forward and you show up, that you invest massive and win balls and work for the team and be positive to every player. I think this is a behavior that is more important than telling them what they have to do, because they get told from me and from the other staff. So he should look also on his game and show that he's a leading player, because he gives a perfect performance, and this is, I think, the more important thing for a leading player.
Nathan Redmond came in for some criticism before the Norwich game. Were you pleased with how he responded to that?
I think he has still more chances to score if he goes more in the box, and this is what he's still not doing in the moment. But I was very positive with his work against the ball. He had, I think, 12 ball wins in this game. His average is 4 or 3 in a game. So you see that he was really working hard for the team. Defensive actions, he made a lot. Also in the end, when we need somebody in front to give us a breather with a dribbling or carrying the ball, he was always there, kept the ball, take a foul, or gave us time to push out. And this is important for me. And it was 90 minutes hard working, and this was a big step forward also for him, if he's always working as hard as in this game. And after working against the ball, also going in the box to take the profit, I think he will score also in the future more than he did in this season so far.
Hi Ralph, I want to talk a little bit about James Ward-Prowse and his influence on the team recently. He's moved to the centre midfield now. Do you think that's his best position?
Yes, I think this is his best position, because there he can put his physical qualities the most on the pitch, I think, because he's covering always the highest or the most distance. So in this position he can do this. He's everywhere. He can press high on the left side and then drop in to defend in front of the back four, and then go in the box, and even scoring all his set pieces. He has a big quality. And yeah, it's not a coincidence that he runs the most and wins also a lot of balls there in this position. And with the ball, his decisions are getting better and better also, more quick, looking forward, playing deep. And I think, he enjoys playing there, and gets the chance to play there, and I think he did it well.
Ward-Prowse and Danny Ings have been responsible for 11 of your last 12 goals now. Do you think their partnership and their work on set pieces is key going forward?
Yeah, especially the set pieces, I think is a key point now in our game, because we see how we won 2 games, if you want, with set pieces now. Against Watford we turned the table with a free kick from Prowse, and now we had 2 set pieces. So it's an important part. Against opponents, they are good organized, always difficult to create chances, and if you have a corner or a free kick there, it's always a chance to score, and that's with Prowse in the team easier, because he has a perfect delivery.
You talked a lot about ball wins and also the importance of this midfield pivot. You called it a 6 and an 8 after the Manchester City game. Do you think what your current balance is now with Højbjerg and Ward-Prowse, is that your favourite one at the moment?
At the moment, the shape gives us more opportunities, because I can put more offensive players on the pitch. We are still not unorganized when we work against the ball. It's still also possible to defend deep. We don't have to press always high. It's also possible to defend deep and to sit deeper and win deeper balls. I think this is the positive of the shape. And in the end, the most important thing is the players enjoy playing in this shape, and we feel that we have, for every problem we have the right answer in the moment, and this is, I think, important for the players to know. Every part of our game we try to develop now, and players are really following and working hard. This is good.